Have you ever heard a story so unbelievable that it feels like fate itself stepped in to change someone's life? Well, what I'm about to share with you will not only touch your heart but might even change how you see kindness forever. If you love inspiring true-to-life stories that prove miracles can happen in the most unexpected ways, then make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because this one is going to stay with you for a long time. It all started with Emily, a young waitress working at a small diner on the edge of town. Emily had dreams like anyone else. She wanted to go back to school, maybe start her own little bakery one day, but right now life was heavy. Bills piled up on her kitchen table, rent was overdue, and her mother's hospital medication cost more than she made in 2 weeks. On this particular morning, Emily checked her worn-out wallet and saw only a single $10 bill left. That was it. No savings, no backup, just $10 between her and complete emptiness. She thought about keeping it for gas or groceries, but something in her heart told her she'd figure things out somehow. As the day went on, the diner was quiet. The morning rush ended, and Emily leaned against the counter, trying not to think about how she'd stretched that $10. Just then, the bell over the door jingled, and an older man walked in. His clothes were a little messy, his shoes worn out, and his eyes looked tired, as if he hadn't slept in days. He sat down at the far corner table, quietly staring out the window. Emily walked over with her usual bright smile, something she always tried to keep even when life was tough. "Good morning, sir. What can I get you today?" she asked. The man hesitated, glancing at the menu, then quietly said, "Just a coffee, please. Actually, I don't think I can pay for it right now." His voice broke a little, and Emily could see the shame in his eyes. She paused, holding the notepad, then looked down at her apron pocket where that $10 bill rested. It wasn't much, but in that moment, she knew what she had to do. "Don't worry about it," she said softly, "coffee's on me today." She walked to the counter, slipped her last $10 into the register, and poured him a steaming cup of coffee. When she set it down in front of him, the man looked at her like she had just given him the world. His eyes welled up with tears, and for a moment, Emily forgot about her own struggles. She just felt good knowing she'd helped someone who needed it more. An hour later, Emily's shift was almost over. She was clearing tables when another man walked in, this one in a crisp suit, polished shoes, and an air of quiet confidence. He wasn't flashy, but you could tell he carried himself differently. He sat at the same corner table where the older man had been earlier. Emily approached with her warm smile again, though now her stomach was tight, wondering how she'd get home with no money left. "Good afternoon. What can I get you?" she asked. The man studied her for a moment before saying, "You're Emily, right?" She froze. How do you know my name?" she asked, almost nervous. The man smiled. "The gentleman who was here earlier told me about you. He said a young waitress used her last $10 to buy him a cup of coffee when he couldn't afford one. That young waitress is you." Emily blushed, a little embarrassed. "It was nothing, really. Just coffee." "Not to him," the man said. "And not to me." He reached into his briefcase and pulled out a stack of papers. "My name is Richard Cole. I own several companies, including a chain of bakeries. I've been looking for someone with compassion and integrity to manage a new branch. But before I hire anyone, I test them. That man you helped? He works for me. He told me exactly what you did, and Emily, you passed the test with flying colors." Emily's mouth dropped open. She thought it was a joke at first, but when he slid the contract across the table with her name already typed in, reality hit her. This wasn't just a job. It was a life-changing opportunity. A salary that would pay off her debts, health insurance for her mother, and even a chance to train as a baker, the dream she thought she had to give up forever. Tears streamed down Emily's face as she whispered, "Why me? There are so many people out there more qualified." Richard smiled gently. "Because skills can be taught. But kindness? Compassion? That can't be faked. You gave your last $10 to a stranger without expecting anything in return. That's the kind of person I want running my business. Emily signed the contract with trembling hands, hardly believing what was happening. That single act of kindness she thought was small ended up rewriting her entire future. From struggling waitress to bakery manager, and soon after, she built her own bakery chain with Richard's mentorship. She named her first bakery $10 Coffee and Bread, a reminder of the day her life changed because she chose generosity over fear. And here's the part one want you to take with you: kindness always finds its way back. Maybe not instantly, maybe not in the way you expect, but when you give from your heart, the universe has a way of giving it back tenfold. Emily didn't know that morning that she'd meet a billionaire, but she knew one thing: helping someone in need was the right thing to do. So, if this story touched you the way it touched me, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because the world needs more stories like Emily's, stories that remind us that one simple act of kindness can change everything. And who knows?